Hello guys, welcome into Writing with Emotion. I appreciate everyone being here. So today we're going to talk about this tune called I'll Be There. So hang on guys, you're in for a treat. We're going to break it down, track by track, put this thing all the way back together. And then you guys can go over to Moses' page and please go over there and check that out. All right, here we go. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into this. Let's start with those chord changes here. So I'm gonna mute everything else out of here. So, all right. So we're going to use this FM piano. So for those who've never used Logic, I'm just going to show you how to load this track here and how to get these sounds here. So this 80s FM piano, that's what I'm going to use, but I'm going to load a new track. So the way I did it, I hit this plus sign right here, and I want it to be a instrument. So this would be like voice, like vocals. This would be like a drummer. You get external sounds, guitar, bass sound. But we're just going to use software instrument because we're going to use the software that's inside the program to create this sound. So I'm going to say create here. And so you get this new track right here. There's nothing loaded because I can push the buttons, you won't hear anything. So I make sure that's the one that I want to put the sounds on. Then I can go over here. Now I can search it, or if you know exactly what you want to use, you can just go down and find it. But I know it's 80, so I'm gonna put that in there, and then I should see right here 80s FM piano. So I'm gonna click that. And so see, there we got. This is the original one we had. This is the one I just put in. Now, when you first put it in there, it's going to be set to record. We're not going to record right now, so I'm going to click that off. But I do want to be able to hear the sounds. Well, let's see here. Okay, so I guess, all right, here we go. So I guess in order to hear that sound, I'd have to have that loaded like it was getting ready to record. But we're not going to record that, but I am going to take you through these chord changes here. So for any of you musicians there, so I'm going to walk you through these chord changes here. So that first chord change, that's going to be a C major 7. And it's actually inverted because a C major 7 would be like, and then that's your 7th. But I did the second inversion of that, so it sounds like this. And the reason I did that because it's a nice transition to the second chord, which is an F major 7, F minor 7. Then you go to your E minor 7, and that repeats. Then it goes into, continues on now. This is not a change, but this is the whole progression. That's a D minor 7. And a D minor 7 over a G in the bass, which gives it a very nice sound. Then it's an E minor 7, it's E in your bass. And then you change that bass note to an A, and that repeats. Then it resolves to the C major 7 9. That's your ninth. Now you could get away with just the 7th, but it sounds better, it's prettier to me with the 9. So if we was to go through those changes, so if I can do this, stumble through the air. it's pretty simple, I guess. Just so those are the chord changes that we went through. So I'm going to delete this track that I just put in there because we're not going to keep that. Delete that track. Okay. So now we're back to the original one here. So if you want to take that, then we'll go out and I love a nice drum track. So have to go out and find something. It's called slow jams, but you go in there. If you go double click on here, let's try it again. All right, so that brings up all the different things that you can do. You can change the sound and all that stuff with that track. So I'm not going to edit anything right now because I like what I say, and it took me a little while to get there, but on another video I'll show you guys how I went through all of that stuff and got that. All right, so I'm going to take that drum track and just the piano here, and you can kind of hear how it's going to start building up here. So here we go. So that's kind of how it starts there. Now, this is the intro, so we didn't go down to the other part here. Let me get back to my keyboard here. So we didn't go to this part. So we're going to save that to when all the vocals come in here. All right, guys, so let's talk about the bass line that we added to this deal here. I have a synth bass in here, and it's really, really deep, so I had to adjust it just a little bit and trim it back as far as the gain, so it's not too overpowering, but I think it's a good fit, so I just want to explain something, so when you're laying these tracks and you hear, if you solo just that sound by itself, unless you know what it sounds like in your head, or you want to know, or you have an idea of what the finished product is going to be like, it really doesn't sound that interesting. But I'm going to play this, just the bass with just that drum track, and you can understand what I'm saying here. So here's the bass line. Now this doesn't come in until the vocals start, so it's after that intro, but I just want to introduce that, because as we're building this together, I'll play more and more into the tune. Notice too, the drum track changed a little bit here too. Back to one here. Now see, that bass line by itself really doesn't sound appealing or attractive or anything, but I'm gonna take that bass line and I'm gonna add in the piano and the drum track, and you'll see how this all fits together. So here we go, let's listen to those three together. sounds a whole lot better when we add all those three tracks together. So it makes it actually sound like a song at this point. However, we are not through. We're going to go back to the intro, and we're going to finish building this intro up, and then we're going to go through the rest of the tune. Okay, guys, so you know how I like to dress up the intros, so we're going to use another synth sound here, and we're going to put it in there, and it's really deep, but the sound is, like I said, you have to hear this in your head, so I'm trying to explain this to you. So it goes something like this here. It's kind of mysterious. And then again, like I said, you heard that by itself. It doesn't mean anything. It means absolutely nothing. But I'm gonna add in this drum track, the piano, that synth sound also. Put those three together, and keep in mind this is the intro, so we're building up the intro, so this is how it sounds so far. All right, so if you're listening to that, it's starting to build up, but at this point, it sounds so robotic. It's just like it's right on the one, it's right on the one, it's right on the one, but there's no flow to it whatsoever. It's just kind of like almost like a robot with just chord changes and stuff. So I had to break that up a little bit, so I had to put in a moving part, um, which is pretty awesome. This adds a lot of character to this also. So something like, make sure I have the right sound here. All right. So we're gonna add that part into there. So I'm gonna put that in there with the rest of the instruments that we've already found here, and let you hear what it's starting. So it's starting to build up, and now it's gonna sound more fluid, versus just the chop, 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 chop. All right, so that sounds a lot better. So I'm gonna just explain this here. See all of this down here? This is actually what it looks like after it's written out. So it wrote out all of these notes and all the stuff that I was playing, so I can print that out if I want to take it to another musician and say, hey, can you play this? Can we collab? And this is what it looks like on paper, and that makes it a lot easier for them. All right, so we're going to add another part here. So, you guys, I love strings, and that's something that it's just something that's one of my go-to sounds. So we're going to put these strings in here too. So let me see if I can find the right octave here. Yeah, that's it there. So the strings by themselves with some sounds similar to this here. So those are pretty decent strings, So putting all of that together. So here is the intro to the tune. All right. Now that sounds like a nice beginning of something. Uh, so, all right. So we've got the intro and everything down. So basically, once you have that part down, the rest of the tune is going to come together pretty easy. There's not a whole lot of changing that we're going to do, with the exception of we're going to add the vocals in. Now, come here. So I wanted this tune here to have a nice kind of soul flavor to it. So I did all of my background vocals, so I'm just gonna let you hear what that sounds like, and you're not gonna know what in the world am I doing here unless you hear the rest of the vocals. You know, but I'm just gonna let those play well, at least once here, so you can hear what I'm talking about here. Want you to see, want you to know. All right, well, this is something I wasn't planning on doing in this video here, but I don't know if you guys heard that stuff here. Let me solo. Can't solo it because it takes me out, but we will. So that, these three right here. And the reason I did that because I heard a lot of stuff in the background here, and I don't know if you guys caught that. So let's listen to this here. I want you to see. I want you to know. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on that shouldn't be in there. So we're going to fix that real quick. And this should be a quick, easy fix here. Because the only thing I want is the vocals. I do have a noise gate on each one of these tracks here. So a noise gate, what that does is that when you're not speaking, it automatically mutes the mic, so that helps get rid of the background noise. Okay, let's clean this up. Like I said, we're gonna click this one, we're gonna right click. We're gonna say split. We're gonna split at playhead. And you see how it split these two? This one here into two portions here. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna slide it over. And I'm gonna take this one, I'm gonna slide it over. So that should clean up anything that's between the two. So go down to the next one. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna go split at playhead. We're gonna do the same thing for this one. And we're gonna do this one also. Say split at playhead. Now this is not going to get rid of everything, but it's going to clean up most of the stuff that we heard. So we're going to listen to it again here and see what it sounds like. I want you to see. See, it's clean right there. I want you to know. That made a big difference. So let's listen one more time. To see. I want you to know. All right, so that's clean. But you guys really don't know what's going on with those backgrounds unless you hear the whole tune. So I'm gonna attempt to sing this up until that point, so you guys can get an idea of how this whole tune came together. So let's try this here. So, all right, let's give it a go. If we were to start again, what would we do? We started out like best friends, but something happened to you. Girl, I want you to see the best side of me. And I want you to know I'm here for you. Anything you need, just call my name and I'll be there. All right, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll be there. Please go over to Motions page and check it out. Thank you guys. We'll see you later.